You should also know it's a festive season, and road safety is a comprehensive issue. And over the period, we're going to have not only officials of the National Road Safety Commission doing a lot more education, but Road Safety Management Services Limited also undertaking some level of education just for you for the Yuletide.
So we'll take the headlines for the morning. President John Dramani Mahama will officially inaugurate the multi-million-dollar Bui hydrogen rating station on Thursday.
The Accra Metropolitan Assembly will, from this morning, divert some major roads in the capital, while others will be blocked to ease traffic congestion ahead of the Christmas season.
And as Roland said, the National Road Safety Commission appeals to all drivers to drive with care to make this Christmas an accident-free one.
Well, we have all these stories and more, all in a bit. Now let's give you the details of the news. The multi-million-dollar Bui Hydro project in the Banda district of the Bunafo region has been completed. President John Dramani Mahama will on Thursday, December 19, officially inaugurate the Bui generation station, which is expected to produce 400 megawatts of power. The Sino-Hydro Corporation of China, the contractor on the project, is scheduled to hand over the project to government on the day of the inauguration. Officials also indicated finishing touches, including the general cleaning of the site to beautify the surroundings of the project site, will be carried out even after the inauguration. The Bui Power Project was funded with a concessionary loan of $263.5 million from China and a buyer's credit of $298.5 million from the Exim Bank.
President John Dramani Mahama is once again hitting at what he describes as cynicism in society as against perseverance, dedication, and a hands-on-deck attitude. The president said developed nations have built on the faith and belief of the people. He was speaking at the Revival Restoration Center, the Roman Rich branch of Assemblies, when he was invited to the dedication of a new temple. He commended support of the church members, likening it to the role of all citizens in national development. Giftiando Apia has more.
We shall invite
The Roman Rich Assembly of the Assemblies of God Church started in the living room of one of the members. The location was changed to under a tree, then canopies, and then in a shed. Finally, what the church describes as God's temple has been built. The General Superintendent of the Assemblies of God Church Ghana, Reverend Dr. Frimpong Manso, admonished the pastors especially to make the premises a place where people's burdens are eased indeed.
These days, it looks like there is kind of familiarity that is breeding content in the contentment in the house of God. Sometimes the kind of dancing we will dance, the kind of noise we will make, the kind of attitude, pride and arrogance tells me that the glory has departed in many houses of God. My prayer is that if this place is called the Lord's Temple, then from the pastor to the child, we must dedicate this place as a place of reverence, a holy ground.
Himself a member of Assemblies of God Church, President Mahama was impressed by the physical support provided by church members during the construction of the church.
I was going through the brochure and I saw a picture of her carrying a headpan full of concrete. And I showed it to her. You see Mama Lizzie carrying a headpan. That's Reverend Nkrumah's wife. It shows the perseverance and dedication that they put into the building of this church.
He said if the country will make the progress anticipated by Ghanaians, all hands must be on deck rather than leaving the entire responsibility to leaders.
We look at nations that have emerged and today are rubbing shoulders with the developed world, and we say, how did they do it? How did Korea do it? How did Japan rise out of the ashes of the Second World War to become the second most prosperous economy in the world? Today we're saying, how did China do it? All these nations have done it because their people have had belief and faith that they can make it and that their nations can be great and strong. It is that same faith and belief we need to have in a nation like Ghana in order that we can be great and strong. If you are a nation of cynics, everybody is cynical and believes nothing is going well, it will be difficult for you to make it. You have to believe that we can make it, and we can make it, I'm certain of that. So if you look at the indicators, we are making progress. But until all of us realize that it is not just the leaders, but it takes every single one of us to make our nation successful, until we realize that we're not going to make the kind of progress that we are determined to make. And so, yes, the leadership can have a vision, but it takes all members of society to contribute in order that that vision will be realized.
This is not the first time President Mahama has made such pronouncements, likening the progress of religious bodies to national development, a probable aim of changing social psyche, much of which is needed to improve its governance. Intercessory prayers were said for the president and Ghana as a whole. For JoyNews, Gifty Andopia, Roman Rage, Accra.
Anti-apartheid icon Nelson Madiba Mandela has been laid to rest at his family graveyard in Kuno, South Africa. The late former president was buried after political and religious leaders paid a tribute to him at a state funeral service.
The funeral cortege of the global icon arrived at the graveyard on a gun carriage after the funeral service and private traditional ceremony, which was performed at his ancestral home. Some 4,500 people, including foreign dignitaries, attended the state funeral, but only about 450 were admitted into the graveyard to observe the burial. Prayers were offered for the soul of Mandela before the coffin was lowered into the grave.
Rest in peace. Yours was truly a long walk to freedom. And now you have achieved the ultimate freedom in the bosom of your Maker, God Almighty.
Aircraft flew past as a sign of respect to the former commander-in-chief. The burial marks the end of a 10-day mourning period after he died on December 5, aged 95. Rest in perfect peace, Nelson Madiba Mandela.
Yes, rest in perfect peace, Madiba. Now, government has decided to absorb increases in price of petroleum products scheduled to take off Monday, December 16, 2013. The measure is to caution consumers of petroleum products this Yuletide. Price of the various products were scheduled to go up in accordance with government's decision to deregulate the sector and allow consumers to pay market prices for the products. Sources close to government, however, tell Joy Business that there would be no fuel prices adjustment. It is not clear what might have influenced this decision, as prices of crude oil have witnessed some increase over the past 2 weeks on the world market. Government announced earlier this year that it's removing subsidies on petrol and diesel, but would continue subsidizing premix fuel.
Some major roads in the capital, Accra, will be diverted, while others will be blocked to ease traffic congestion in the city ahead of the Yuletide. The Accra Metropolitan Chief Executive, Alfred Ukuvandapoy, under his operation, says the traffic flow is part of a traffic and agenda initiative, and the police will be stationed at vantage points in the capital to help direct traffic, as he led a team of journalists on Sunday to inspect some roads identified under the operation to let traffic flow in Accra.
Some of the identified road networks include the Accra Central and Winneba Road, Accra Sawam Road, and the Accra Madina Road. Preparation work was ongoing at the Kaneshi Market Road Sunday afternoon when the mayor and his entourage visited the place. Officials had already arranged barricades to separate the 3-lane road. Private and government vehicles will be expected to ply the 2-lane stretch of the road, whilst commercial vehicles will take the 3rd lane. The Kaneshie First Light Road leading to Bubuashi will also be a one-way road, with others from Bubuashi joining the Kaneshie First Light, having to turn at either Pamprum or join the main Accra Malam Road at Accra Academy Senior High School. Still at Bubuashi, other alternative access routes have been created, with the roads graded and yet to be tarred. Motorists also heading from Abeka La Paz to join the main Testa North Circle route at Abeka Junction will also have alternative routes through to the Ghana Telecom University to ease traffic on that stretch of the road. The Accra Metropolitan Chief Executive also indicated other major roads like the Osu-Oxford Street will also be considered for the one-way scheme.
Studying more activities on the Oxford Street throughout the week as we open these ones that we have shown you. As these ones work well and feed into the road network, we will focus on studying what we need to do with the Oxford Street, so that a week from today we'll prepare the Oxford Street for one-way service starting next week Monday. Road that we create as one-way today to flow tomorrow, we will maintain it even after the holidays.
He also promised to deal with the challenge of street hawking in the capital, which he indicated have contributed to traffic congestion. Officials warned vehicles found to be parked haphazardly on the roads would be towed.
The National Road Safety Commission is appealing to drivers to observe road safety signs to help make this Christmas an accident-free one. Speaking at the launch of the News Alive campaign, Executive Director of the Commission, May Obriyewa, expressed concern that even though there had been a reduction in the number of road traffic accident crashes in the Yuletide period, the numbers were still on high side, and cautioned drivers to drive with care.
The incidence of road traffic crashes during the Christmas period reduced from 10% in 2011 to 7% in 2012. Over 200 vehicles are estimated to have been involved in road crashes during the period. To curb this trend and make this year's Christmas an incident-free one, officials of the National Road Safety Commission, the Ministry of Transport, and other road stakeholders have embarked on the road safety walk at Kaswa and its environs to educate drivers on the importance of observing road signs. Officials distributed some flyers and brochures on road safety to drivers and pedestrians to drum home their message of making the country's road safe this Christmas season. Minister of Transport, Jifan Ativo, called for greater collaboration between road users and transport operators to curb the increasing trend of road accidents in the country.
We all know what constitutes bad driver behavior on our roads: drink driving, overspeeding, use of mobile phones while driving, using vehicles, non-roadworthy vehicles. Vehicles that are not roadworthy are all contributing to the accidents on our roads. Let's ensure, especially at the stations, let's ensure we do all the pre-departure checks. Checking of tires, checking of brakes, checking that the driver is in good condition, as has been demonstrated here this morning. Because once you take in alcohol and you go on the steering wheel, you are bound to commit blunder. So please, I want to task the GPRTU bosses to enforce the pre-departure checks so that our drivers will operate efficiently on the roads.
Executive Director of the National Road Safety Commission, May Obriyewa, said the fight against road accidents was a fight for all Ghanaians, which must be tackled effectively.
We are launching the Arrive and Live campaign again to increase road safety awareness ahead of the impending Yuletide, with a characteristic rise in traffic volumes and congestion level. Our focus is on the driver, the pedestrian, and the passenger, and that informed our theme: drive safely, walk safely, and travel safely. Together, we can deliver a reduction in December crashes if we show commitment to our various responsibilities. Road safety is a shared and collective responsibility. Thus, it requires a collective and holistic effort by all stakeholders in the road subsector.
Transport operators at the function promised to take the education to their members to ensure an incident-free Christmas season.
The Omahene of the New Job and Traditional Area, Dasebre Professor Emeritus Otibuating, has appealed to the people of New Jobbing to bury their differences and work together for development of the area. He made the appeal during the celebration of this year's Akwantukese Festival by the chiefs and people of New Jobbing at the forecourts of the Jackson Park in the New Jobbing municipality of the Eastern Region. A report by Haruna Yusuf Wumpini.
The Akwantukese Festival was instituted in 1997 and commemorated by the Omahene, chiefs and people of New Jobbing Traditional Area every year. This year's commemoration marks the 21st anniversary of the installment of Dasebre Professor Emeritus Otibuating as the Omahene of New Jobbing Traditional Area. The festival also offers the remarkable opportunity for priceless experience and joint creative initiatives, spiritual togetherness and mutual enrichment of their culture. The Omahene of New Jobbing Traditional Area, Dasebre Professor Emeritus Otibuating, highlighted the Akwantukese Festival.
Suffering and destruction of lives and property emanating from the wars and the long, tedious road to resettlement here in New Jobbing. Along this difficult journey, many were those who died on the way due to the hazardous nature of the terrain with infested snakes, mosquitoes, and other harmful flies. Also along the way, many were those who dispersed to form a diaspora in townships such as Anyinem, Babin, and Asiom.
Dasebre Professor Otibuating used the occasion to extend a hand of reconciliation to all citizens of New Jobbing who might have any grievances to present it before the Traditional Council for speedy and amicable address.
Let us continue to work together as one people with one destiny in a spirit of mutual respect and understanding to turn the lessons of the war into the reality of a better future for all of us.
The Deputy Eastern Regional Minister, Mavis Amafrimpong, assured the chiefs and people of New Jobbing that New Jobbing municipality would not be left out of NDC government's promise to carry on developmental programs.
Our present government administration, led by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, was saying, and the promises, and the plan no, where ye is in a film, by Jobbing there, ye bedding ye pa. Now, every kind, any Eastern University, and one was saying, I'm from the single very idea. But so, and I'm saying Jobbing, and the regional capital, Nana. It's more so. Now you say, what do my ideas?
This year's Akwantukese Festival is being celebrated under the theme Building Team Spirit to Meet Development Challenges. Haruna Yusuf Wumpini's report from the Eastern Region.
Well, so those are the stories we have for you for the morning. Just a recap of our top stories.
President John Dramani Mahama will officially inaugurate the multi-million-dollar Bui hydrogen rating station on Thursday.
From this very morning, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly has started an initiative to divert traffic in the capital. Other roads in the capital will also be blocked to ease traffic congestion ahead of the shopping period on Christmas.
And the National Road Safety Commission appeals to all drivers to drive with care to make this Christmas an accident-free one.
Well, so those are the stories we have for you on the AM show. Next is AM Sport, but please do get interactive. We have the social network pages on Facebook and Twitter, and basically just log on to Facebook, search for the page, JoyNews on TV, and also the short code will get you communicating with us 1760.
Stay on, be right back.
Thank you.